Fortnite, you're going to be speaking to me with a little more reverence and respect than you did prior to this.
If I try to play Beyond the Hype.
How come I'm getting like Fisher Price questions?
Guys,
Hey, what's your favorite color?
Greetings and welcome to Supply Drop episode 66, a game podcast created by the Earth, the Wind, and the Fire of podcasts. My name is Nate. I'll be your host. I'm joined by two other co-hosts, the first of which is Scott.
Hello, everybody.
Scott, can we take a solemn moment and have you briefly reflect on the year of 2023 for our listeners?
Ooh.
Solemnly and, respectfully. Just, can you say a couple of words? All right.
Micro transaction. Is that one word or two?
Ooh, that is nice.
Yeah.
That is nice. I like you, Scott. I like you.
I got one word too.
I didn't ask
I got
you.
two words for you, buddy.
Okay.
Thick, because I know you're going to cry about it if we don't let you do your word. What is your word?
Not gonna say it.
Oh, my
come
gosh.
on,
Oh,
man.
great. I'm in the doghouse now. I'm in the doghouse.
Yeah.
Thick, maybe this will cheer you up. I have a question specifically designed for you.
Okay.
Thick, can you tell us what sports logo you find most aesthetically pleasing? I know you're not a big sports guy, but there has to be a logo or some colors. You're like, I could wear
like
a
the color
hat.
scheme maybe that I really like.
No, I want the logo. I want an actual logo.
I like I guess the Mets logo, but I have a lot of family
classy.
members. Yeah, I like the blue and orange kind
Blue
of
and
thing.
orange.
Actually, yeah, I kind of like using that as some of my cosmetics in games. I don't know.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Okay, I respect that. All right. Yeah, I think it has a
mean-
baseball bat in the front. The Mets logo, maybe.
I
It
mean,
might.
Overwatch 2.
maybe.
Overwatch 2.
Yeah. I mean,
By the way-
Overwatch 2 teams had like similar colors too, so
Oh,
Yeah,
that's right.
that's true.
That's
Yeah.
right. By the way, so I live in St. Louis. Our baseball team is St. Louis Cardinals. Have you guys ever seen a cardinal like sitting on a branch?
Oh, yeah.
you like the red cardinal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the red cardinal with the little black under the eye. It is the
Yeah.
lamest looking. It's the lamest looking bird. It doesn't look ferocious at all.
Oh,
like
it's
I get
not.
the Falcons. I get the Falcons or the Eagles.
Yeah.
The
You know,
cardinal.
Even
it
an
should not be
osprey, maybe? Or,
Yeah, or an ostrich.
Yeah, it
more,
might as well
more
be
intimidating.
like, the robins.
So
The-
what does the
the
mascot look
hummingbirds.
like? Is it a cardinal?
It's a cardinal
literally a
head, isn't it?
cardinal.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might
Does
be
he
sitting
look
on a.
intimidating?
No, it's
No?
pretty.
It's-
It's pretty like classy looking.
It's probably the
Okay.
state bird,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I think they might be a state bird for a lot of states then, because I think Virginia has it as a state
Wow.
bird, maybe.
Yeah.
I could be
Probably
wrong.
Tennessee
20.
is the buzzard, I think. Yeah, that's probably
That's
Oh,
a good.
really?
That's a good choice.
yeah.
The buzzer. That's a little
the buzzard.
creepy, I guess.
Yeah.
Guys, before we get started, I want to ask listeners a question. The Supply Drop podcast is looking for a fourth rotating chair. If you like video games, but none of your IRL friends accept you, shoot us a comment on our YouTube channel, and we'll see if we can set something up. You don't need a webcam, but you do need a microphone. All right?
Yes.
We accept you.
We accept you. Scott, tell us how your week went.
I am. I'm growing a beard. The bearding.
May we see it?
The
It
bearding
comes out
is
nice.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I started this the other day.
Exciting.
Wait, are you joking or are you serious?
No, I'm serious.
So we're going to see this throughout a few
Oh, yeah.
weeks,
Yeah.
months.
Oh, I'll
this-
probably have a full beard next week.
Okay.
Well, it's part of it's kind of like a manifestation thing I'm doing. I'm growing this like Marcus Phoenix, old man beard, and
Oh,
to
okay.
manifest a Marcus Phoenix collection for PC
Yeah,
or Gears of War
that's what I
collection
was
for PC
thinking.
or just maybe
That's what I
2
was
and 3 on
thinking.
PC or something or anything Gears of War. I mean, just it's just kind of trying to make it happen. Just putting it out in the universe. So.
All right, I have a question for Scott. Thick, may I ask my question?
No.
I'm asking
So
you.
anyway, no.
All right, Scott, aren't all the Gears of War games on Game Pass?
Yes.
Can't you go on your PC, download those? You cannot do that.
No,
So
there
those
is
are
no
tied to the
there is
console.
no Gears 2 or Gears 3 Judgment we don't talk about. There's no version of that for the PC. No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, you can play them the 360 versions on illegally, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's not really the you're not using like a keyboard and mouse. It's not really the same thing. This is something that is long overdue, and they need to release something like this now. Next month would be good. It'd be good for me. So I'm just, So the beard, the beard's magic, man. It works for Santa. I'm gonna try to make it happen. So
the beard is only half of the equation, though. You got to start injecting steroids. A pretty heavy dose of steroids.
Probably
this week. Sooner the better.
Sooner the better.
Okay.
Yes, so.
Well, I'll get on that too. That probably will help my beard too. I mean, it might.
Yeah. You got to add about 400 pounds of pure muscle to you, Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be good. Yeah. I'm 5'7". I need 400 pounds of muscle on me. I look like a dwarf from Lord of the Rings.
That's right.
But other than that, it's been a pretty good week. I've last week, I told you guys I found this little indie game that you've probably heard of. It's called World of Warcraft. I don't know. It's been out for a minute. I am just totally encapsulated with this game. I'm just having the most fun with it. But I also got a chance
love to see it.
Yeah. And also went. I downloaded Last Epoch. And I think we've talked about this game briefly. We probably talked about it when Diablo 4 came out, but it is a top-down, action RPG, much like Diablo. And it's still in early access. It's got a release date of February 21st of next year. And I think it came out April 2019, something like that. And this game is solid. It is really good. So far, it still has a little bit of the 2019-ish kind of feel to it. There's preset characters. You can't really cosmetically change or alter your character, but you can change. You can select like the mage and the necromancer and fighter and paladin and all that kind of stuff. So it is really good. I think if you like Diablo 4 and you're getting kind of sick of the it's good, it's bad, it's good, it's bad.
So the Last Epoch is an action RPG like Diablo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What's the differentiating factor?
The main thing you're going to see is it's not like it's pretty. It has like a more colorful setting. It's not like this doom and gloom kind of dark and which I do
Halo
like.
5?
Yeah, exactly. Like let's use every color in every scene. Well, it's not that bad, but the controls are very similar. But on mouse and keyboard, they're better than Diablo 4, in my opinion. I use a controller when I play Diablo 4 because doing a lot of ranged weapons and everything, you have to hold shift so your character doesn't go in the direction while it's shooting, all that. Last Epoch has taken care of that. If you're using, if you fire anything, a spell or an arrow or anything, your character doesn't move that direction. You're actually just firing in that direction. And then you use your, the Q, W, E, A, S, D keys for all of your powers, 1 through 4. Everything's just very accessible, and it's really easy to get into and learn. And the leveling of it feels really good. It's not too quick, and it's not, you don't get bored with stuff. It pushes you along really good. I haven't had a lot of time to play with it. I actually just went through it. I'm just like making a character of each class to see what I like. And so far, I like all of them.
That's nice.
Yeah, which is that's not something that happens with me. There's usually like 2 or 3 that I'm like, and there's usually one that I'm like, I will not play that at all. Yeah. But all of them are they're good. They're good. So if you're a Diablo 4 fan, you haven't checked this out, now I think is the time to do it. I have had 0 issues with it. Performance is really good. Servers are really good. So yeah, I would definitely go check that out.
What's the price tag? Is it like 30 or 40?
It's like, I think it was like $34, like $32.99 ish, something like that. So it's not a $70 game by any chance, but yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty good. The other thing I dipped back into was Warframe. I'm trying to, find that Destiny 2 itch without actually playing Destiny 2.
The Warframe community likes this game. People like this game.
It does. I created a new character, started from scratch, kind of like I did with WoW, and it is better for new players. And man, there is a lot of content here. There is tons of content for this game. So, Last Epoch, World of Warcraft, Warframe, these are games that came out years ago. and I'm just kind of either dipping back in or kind of rediscovering them, and it's been a blast. That's all I've really been playing. I've been playing a lot of WoW. So
A full embracement of live service, which I love to see, Scott. I love to see it.
Yeah, and in the best way. I mean, WoW is the if you start off in the retail version, I think that it's good. Later in the game, that's when it might start, get to where it's like, oh, you need this weapon that is actually $35 or stuff like that. I don't know yet. I'll keep you posted. But Warframe also, you can go through that game. Everything that you get is cosmetic. Like anything that you buy at the store is just cosmetics. And you do earn them in the game as well. At least the last Epoch, I think it has a store. I'm not even sure because it doesn't throw anything in your face when you start the game. It doesn't. It doesn't have that. 45% of the screen dedicated to, hey, this is what's out this week in the store. So, yeah.
Scott, can I tell you what I don't like about MMOs?
Yeah.
My entire life, I kind of felt like MMOs were like these worlds where like all the players jumped into a world together. Mm-hmm. None of them are like that, right? Where it's like,
yeah.
Like World of Warcraft is not like that. Like you jump into like servers with like 20 other people.
No.
No, there's a lot of people on a server.
There's a lot of people.
You
can have a lot of people on a server.
So do you mean 40 people? Are you saying it's not 20
talking
people,
about
40?
Hundreds.
We're talking about thousands, possibly.
Yeah.
So can those thousands of people ever do anything together? Like do anything?
Oh, yeah.
Like, let's all.
I've been doing dungeons. They are a blast. Yeah.
Dungeons are more 5, but I tell you, even back in 2006 or whatever, like when there was a big event, like there's one place where everyone has to unlock it to go to it, like it's like the final raid or whatever next, and there's at least a couple hundred people in one zone. It was crashing the zone. It's
was.
Yeah.
So when I played Diablo 4, you know how you see other characters are out there running around, and to me, I'm like they mean nothing to me because they just don't impact my gameplay.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
is it kind of like that in WoW? They don't.
Yeah, it kind of is. It depends. For me, and now Thick has probably got way more hours on it than I do. But there was only one area that I went to that someone was actually helping me. Because I was soloing and I was, I would get mobbed,
Right.
You aggro one person and then 5 come up, and he actually came over and started helping me. And other than that, though, it's just everybody's kind of doing their own thing, and it may be the same thing you're doing, but the timing is a little off. I didn't feel like nobody gets in my way. You know, you don't go to a door and it's there's so many people there you can't even see the person you're talking to.
Yeah.
I think it probably does a very good job of making sure that you're not on a server, everybody's on one server. I don't think they fill a server like they used to. They used to fill a server, then jump to the next one, jump to the next. I think they kind of make sure that it's
more even.
There's a lot of cross server progression kind of thing now.
Yeah. And you can move to a different server as well. Like if you've got somebody playing, you just kind of migrate over to that server.
Yeah, you don't have to be on the same server as your friend anymore.
Right. So there's a lot of stuff there that what the retail version does for me is it allows me to role play like a role playing game. It allows me to play through a campaign and have stuff to do. And I just got a griffin. I can fly. I can just fly anywhere in the world, and it's persistent. So when you're talking about Diablo 4 and you see all these people running around, the player count on Diablo 4 is relatively small, and the area is relatively small. WoW is big, and so far I think I can take off from one continent and actually fly to another continent seamlessly, and no loading screens. It's pretty impressive. I mean, they've got it down. They've had almost 20 years to get this down. So the things that you don't like about MMOs, you may actually like about the retail version. You may like the retail version of WoW because I'm the same way.
I would say with the retail version, and that's why some people like the classic version, is there's so much quality of life that it does
It's
make it
kind
a
of
little bit.
it's a little cushy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little cushy
Yeah.
where it makes it a little bit harder to kind of have that sort of like novelty that WoW had in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So like that's why some people really wanted classic WoW back because there's a lot of niceties stripped away. Like there wasn't like group finder. You don't teleport everywhere. You have to walk there, and when you walk there, you might get killed by a PvP player if you're on a PvP server. And there's like the original way WoW was, it cannot be recreated anymore. It's just there's no novel
No.
factor to it these days.
Yeah. I mean, it's just past that age. Plus, I mean, if
Yeah.
you've played more, if you played other MMOs, you can't erase that either. I played a lot of ESO, and ESO is similar to that in the fact that you can just solo it. You can just play it like an RPG, and that's what I like about it. That's what I've always liked about ESO, and now you can do the same thing with WoW in this new world, or to me, this with all these new characters and all these things that I don't know about, and I'm discovering kind of for the first time.
Scott, a while ago, Thick asked me, he was like, what do you like about Scott? And I couldn't think of anything for about 10 minutes straight. And then I said, well, at least Scott, at least he's a voice for the little man in terms of championing games that are not well known, not indie games.
Yeah, yeah.
That's your
I
one
find these
redeeming quality.
I found some stuff. I did download another game. I haven't played it yet, but I'll talk about it next week when I have. But it is definitely a little bitty indie.
All right.
No, jokes aside, it's teeny tiny.
All right. Thick, save the podcast. Save it.
How can I save it? Should I talk about the most popular game that's happening right now?
Sure.
Ooh, if that's what your week entailed, yeah.
Nah, I did not. Let me see.
not.
What did I play? Oh, I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Just I decided to pick it back up again.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just went through it for a few hours. I also picked up Starfield again, probably because everyone was like bagging on it this week. So I was like, what? I'm gonna see. Am I wrong for liking Starfield?
No, not at all.
Yeah, of course, I'm just kind of jokingly saying that to myself.
Yeah.
But I ended up playing like 2-3 hours and not realizing it. So
yeah.
For Starfield and Odyssey, I know the game's kind of marked for its like bloatedness, but if you just kind of play it in like these short sessions and then just come back to it later, it's pretty fun. Like they give you a good amount to do, and I mean you have to like the combat, of course, and I like the combat enough, and like just tackling like the strongholds, right? It's just like trying to stealth my way through. It's engaging enough. So
which character are you playing?
Which one? I'm playing the Cassandra, I think.
Yeah.
And I think on another account, I think the PC account, because that's actually where I started Odyssey, I have, what was this guy? I forget.
Everybody does, because nobody played him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he had the worst voice.
Alexios or something. Yeah.
Something like that. It's just the worst. Oh, it's just terrible. Yeah, I played him for about 10 minutes and started a whole new game with the other character.
Is that bad?
It's just annoying. He's like, it's just very. He's like if Mario was a real plumber, that was Italian that lived in New York. That how he would talk is exactly how this guy talks.
I kind of like those accents, but
well, you're from New York, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm from New York, Buffalo.
Right.
I'm from Buffalo.
Yeah,
that's really New York.
Yeah, you nailed it. Did you do the voice for?
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was funny. That's the way.
I guess.
I have a question for you. In 1 hour of playtime, how many times do you die in Assassin's Creed Odyssey? Does the game challenge you at all?
I have it set on hard, and I was fighting. Like the strongholds, they can challenge me, especially when I just get overwhelmed. So I can probably die at least once per hour.
Okay, all right.
But I mean, I think you know like how you say like some stealth games, like they don't see like 20 feet in front of them.
Yeah.
I think it's better in Assassin's Creed. I think they're pretty good about being like within a viewing distance, maybe not far away.
Mm-hmm.
But like if they're like down below. And like sometimes you think, oh, they're not going to look up, but then they see you like near instantly. Like it's not like a straight line visual cone for them. It's like they see a good portion of like in front of them.
So they're pushing the boundary of realism a little bit,
A little
at
bit
least.
better, yeah.
I feel like Ghost Recon had some decent AI that had some eyesight in it, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, for Ghost Recon, I think it should because
All right,
a
it's
lot of
like
things are long range, right?
right. Yeah, good
I
point.
mean, in Assassin's Creed, it's only like arrows and stuff that are really long range.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to get a little bit closer.
Yeah.
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 And
Nick, what else do you do this week?
I mean, well, I did play the PlayStation Portal, but we'll get to that later.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
Uh,
I'm excited to hear your comments on that.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll tell you a couple games I did play, and I'll talk about more. I played Ratchet and Clank. I played Modern Warfare 1 campaign.
That's a good
I played
campaign.
Doom,
Yeah.
and then I started Tower of Fantasy. Like I had it
Oh
on my
yeah.
PS5 for a long time, but
Right.
because I really don't play my PS5, that's why I got the Portal because now I play it a lot more. So,
Oh really?
or
That's
or
interesting.
may it's the novelty. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
a week later
Something
I
new.
won't touch it. Yeah,
Yeah.
We'll
but
see.
yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Okay. I'll tell you quickly about my week. So this little, like Sky, I like to champion the little game. There's a little indie
Yeah.
game called Fortnite. I don't think
Yeah.
it's self-published by whoever makes it. They
Oh, yeah,
they
yeah.
self-publish it.
Those
Yeah.
guys that used to make Unreal Tournament years ago.
Yeah, a
Those
long
guys.
time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say there's two other times in the game's history where I didn't want to play the game. One was when they decided to make the map like 50% water, and I just felt like it was so annoying to have to like swim through everything, right? That was annoying. I didn't play the game at all during that season. Second time was when glider redeploy happened, and all the high skill players were like crushing low skill players like me. Like you were getting killed by players who had like 24 kills during a match. And I'm like, dude, there's only 100 people on the island. How is this one guy getting right? Because glider redeploy was just it was basically turning the map into a small map because you could get around it so quickly, right? This is another a season where I don't want to play it, all right? Because they're doing this OG season where it's all the old stuff from a long time ago, and it's only 1 month along, right? And I think it's kind of interesting how my brain works. Like each season, I kind of tell you guys this. We kind of create new traps, right? We're the hardest of hardcore campers. We kind of lure people and we surprise them, right?
Yeah.
I don't even want to do that because it's such a short season that I'm like, I don't really want to spend time thinking about this. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to create
You just
something
wanna
that's
kinda
just
get
going to be
through it.
taken away.
Yeah.
I just want the new season to show up. But that's about as much as I did this week. I pontificated on how I don't want to play a game.
Now
So-
they changed the whole map to be like day one map. Is that what I'm
Basically,
understanding?
every week they're kind of fast forwarding like a few seasons, so it's kind of updating quickly.
Oh, okay. So it's Fortnite Classic. Yeah.
It's Fortnite Classic, yeah. I do know, and next week they're going to add the mechs. The mechs are the overpowered items that all the sweats hated.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to be jumping in during that.
So it's basically a replay remix kind of thing.
Yeah,
Almost.
yeah, and I always tell you guys, I always like kind of interesting items, like items you can kind of like you can create new ways to play with them. And I feel like the OG, at least what I've played thus far, it's such a basic standard loadout that there's just nothing to really hook me. So
Is there still no build, or is it just
they do have no build. Scott knows not to play it. That's not true Fortnite. I don't even want to. I don't want that mode brought up on this podcast going forward. That's how strongly I feel about no build. All right.
I see.
Yeah, I'm sick of hearing on podcasts. Oh, once they added no build, I thought Fortnite was good again. No. All right. So that's
We'll
that.
put that in the notes. Yeah.
We'll put that in the notes. Let's see. I have listener feedback here. Let me tell you what I wrote down for listener feedback.
Okay.
Before we kick things off, I want to remind listeners that we're thirsty for listener feedback. If you hit us up in the comments, we will comment on your business. Simple and straight to the point.
There you go.
Right? Guys, let's jump into the rumors. I have 5 rumors this week.
Wow. Okay.
You ready for this?
Whoa.
All
Okay.
right. Rumor number 1. Last week's Donkey of the Week, Jeff Grubb, said on his Games Mess Morning podcast that Sony's exclusive Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic remake is dead. He says right now no one is working on it at all. Any thoughts? Scott, you're a Star Wars guy. Thoughts?
Good.
Kind of just good.
Yeah. Thanks.
You want to? Although I think Scott has said in the past this was your favorite Star Wars game, right?
Yeah, I would say it's a lot of people's favorite Star Wars game.
Right.
Yeah, I don't really want to. I mean, everybody wants that game updated.
Right.
I don't really think I wanted someone else to remake it. That's kind of a thin line. Like the Dead Space remake, excellent job. I mean, they changed so little of that, but you can't expect everybody to do that. Change one wrong thing, and it loses what makes it special. So yeah, I think it's good news. Make something new.
Make something new. I'm with you. And I feel like I can't remember what team had it, but it was not a team that inspired confidence, right?
It was Saber. Well, who had it first?
Yeah, it was Saber. It was Asper or Asper.
Aspire. Yeah, it was Aspire. Yeah. And then they basically said, we don't know what we're doing, and then they took it from and gave it to
Saber.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's Saber. Is it Saber Technologies or Saber? Anyway.
Interactive, I think.
Yeah, they're the guys that did the Halo 2 anniversary, which was a fantastic. I mean, if you want an example of how to redo a game, that is a great example.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they did a fantastic job. Completely butchered CE, a travesty to all
but
of
Halo
mankind.
2.
Halo 2, yeah, they redeemed themselves in every way. So that was a little hopeful to hear that they had it, but I mean, I wouldn't want to remake that game. I wouldn't want to have my name on that. It's just, I don't know. Just maybe make a new one,
Right. But... it would be interesting to be in the room where contracts are being signed, because I think it was supposed to be a PlayStation kind of published game or something, right?
It was probably going to be, it was probably going to be a timed exclusive for them.
Yeah. So I imagine Jim Ryan being you're gonna make this for us, right? Here's the paper. You're gonna work on this, and they're oh, we're gonna work on it.
Yeah, we'll
get right to it.
Yeah, and they're just in their pajamas or something.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, right.
Eating chips. Yeah, man. Let's get to it here in just a second.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm sure that's probably what happened.
Yeah. All right, rumor number 2. The Last of Us Part 2 remastered trailer got leaked. Apparently, the game is hitting in the first half of 2024. Did either of you take a look at this trailer?
Nah.
You did not?
Seen
it? It looks exactly like you think it's going to look, Scott.
Yeah.
Just same game, high frame rate, a little nicer looking.
This isn't a rumor now, right? Because
they've announced it.
Friday.
Yeah, it's going to be out in March.
Oh, did they?
February.
They did.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was a quick leak.
It was when it leaked. It was not. Everybody assumed that it was going to be a $70 game. And it's going to be marginally better. But no, Sony actually, get this, is a $10 upgrade. So if you purchased The Last of Us 2 on PS4, or is that right, or a PS5? Either one, maybe both. PS4. I don't know. Yeah. You can pay $10 and get an upgrade, even though Xbox still does that for free. $10 to get whatever they're adding to that. They haven't been
very
specific.
charitable of Sony.
Yeah, it's charitable to not make you buy it again at $70. I mean, this is where that's Sony.
Thank you, Sony.
Yeah, that's that's the two people going into the office and going, Sony, would you like to offer some money to the poor? And they're like, bah humbug. So
guys, can I be devil's advocate? Scott, can I be devil's advocate here?
Yeah.
All right. Sony just gave salaried position, people at their company, salaried positions.
Mm-hmm.
They said, work on this for 3 years.
Yeah.
And then gamers are we want it for free. And it's well, we've had people working on this for why do you feel entitled to have a free thing that we've been working on for 3 years? You know what I mean?
Maybe because somebody else does it for free. I mean, if you set the bar, I mean, if you hand out something for free and somebody over there's going, hey, we got the same thing, it's $10. Where are you going? You're going over there.
I'm with you that if you do things for free, you should be rewarded for it. That's nice. But just the fact that I don't think you should be punished for we're going to charge for the thing that we worked on for 3 years.
I agree. I mean, I agree. I think it's unfair to charge another $70 for a game that you already bought.
Okay, all right. I know. So they're doing
a $10 upgrade. I mean, I've paid a $10 upgrade.
The $10 upgrade is fine, but it's kind of how they did the $70 first, but now they're doing the $10. So now we feel it's super charitable for some reason, rather than Like if they just did a $10 upgrade, I think we'd be complaining about that instead of the 70, right? If they never did the 70 at all,
I
I
mean,
feel like some people would.
yeah, some people would probably. I mean, somebody's going to complain regardless. But $10, I think, is fine for an upgrade. I mean, I remember paying that for Call of Duty was something or other when I got my Series X. There was something. Was that Cold War? I think it was. No, it was before that. I don't remember. Whichever one was out in 2020, but it hurt a little bit. You know, it's like I paid $60. Now I'm having to pay an extra $10 when all the other games are free. But yeah, I see it. I mean, you've got to make this isn't a live service game. This is not something that doesn't have cosmetics for Ellie, you know, inside the game. So it's got to pay for funding of something. And if you want that next game from them, you're going to have to pay a little bit for it. I think it's good that they are only charging, you know, $10, but and it doesn't it makes them look a little bit better, which they desperately need right now.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to rumor number 3. Scott, you'll like this one. Dragon's Dogma 2 got rated by the Peggy board 18+ and is scheduled for March 22nd, 2024.
Yep.
Scott, day one. Is this day one?
For me, day one.
Yeah.
Day one.
Day one for you.
Yeah.
Thick. Is this
not a
day
pre-order?
Not a pre-order.
Not pre-order, but a day
I
one.
honestly should go through Dragon's Dogma, the first one first before I really commit to it. I've tried a couple times, but then I haven't really decided to go deep into it.
I feel like this is going to fix everything wrong with the first one.
First one.
Yeah, that's what it seems like with all the impressions from this year, right?
Yeah. It looks good.
And I guess it's coming a little sooner than maybe I expected. I thought maybe late 2024, but
yeah, I did too.
There was a rumor with Capcom releasing some sort of
big budget title in March. Yeah.
Yeah. So is
this it?
So was that? But I thought it was
an
unannounced. I thought it was an unannounced one.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Maybe someone cross wires with that too. You know, will they have 2 big games?
And maybe it was unannounced release date. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Well, maybe we'll see at the Keighley's.
Right. That's right.
Yep.
Rumor number 4. You guys are going to like this one because you guys bleed green. Jez Corden of the Xbox 2 podcast, I think it is, says that Xbox will be at the Game Awards, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, I want each of you to pick one game you want to see from them there. What do you want it to be?
What if it's not a game?
It's a new console? No, it's going to be a game, all right?
You think so?
It's going to be a trailer teasing the new console with a bunch of people saying stuff about it.
That's what I think. I think that, I think it's going to be their new console for 2024. That whatever that thing they showed, the Pringle can,
right.
I think that's what it's going to be. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I hope there's more than just that, though.
I do too. What do I want? I want a Gears of War collection, and then it's out now. Yes, that's what I want. Right. By then, when is that? December 7th? I will have a beard by December 7th. It will be about this long.
Plus 400 pounds of muscle.
Plus, I will try with 400. I can't. Maybe by then 300. I'll work on it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. All right, Thick. Scott did not aim super high with his wants. Can you aim a little higher?
What do you think it's going to be, and what do you want it to be?
For me, I got an easy answer. Oh no, Thick, you go first.
Was it? I think it'll be either more Fable or Hellblade.
No, it won't be Fable.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to show Fable again. No. Yeah, they're not going to show that again.
I guess there's no real settled.
And Hellblade, I mean,
there's a chance.
Maybe a release date. Yeah. Okay, yeah, they could give a release date for Hellblade.
But yeah, I feel like they've been teasing it too long to where it's kind of fizzling a little bit, right?
Yeah, the next announcement needs to be a release date.
Yeah. What about Perfect Dark? That's what I want to see. I want to see the next Perfect Dark there.
Why
are you laughing? Why are you stop laughing?
That's even less viable than Fable.
Yeah, I don't know if that game's ever getting released. I have my worries. I do too. I hope it releases and it's great, but
yeah. Don't hold my breath. You're saying that.
Yeah. No,
guys, is it true that it's December 7th or the Game Awards?
Yes.
That's not very far away.
No, it's not. We're just weeks away from Christmas.
Yeah. Wow. Who knew that this podcast would be steamrolling all these big events?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nowhere else to get news like this from any other podcast.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Like
let me
There's
add
none
one
none
thing
anywhere.
that I kind of hope that it could be, and this is just wishful thinking, but like
Yeah.
you know how there's Perfect Dark, and they were looking to revive StarCraft. I would love it if they just turned the Perfect Dark into StarCraft Ghosts, because I think they are very similar in sort of like idea.
It's a whole lot of new art, though. It's a
Man,
whole lot
that
of new
would be-
art.
It is.
What if
but-
they? What if they did both? What if they did a crossover?
Oh, I'm not entertaining this anymore. I'm moving on to rumor number.
StarCraft is 20 years old, or announced 20 years ago. So
Yeah. Hey, StarCraft 3. Maybe. I don't know.
you
That
know, there was
probably
this
is
one
not-
thing actually. Like they were saying that the first payable mount in WoW, basically there was more return on investment on that than StarCraft Wings of Liberty. Like,
Wow, really?
Wow.
yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's rough.
I love that IP. I just don't want another RTS. I don't want another RTS.
I don't
And it
either.
Sounds like
I don't
yeah.
either. I think that 2 is fine. I think it doesn't really need it. But that world is rich.
So awesome.
Yeah.
It needs
So
something
awesome.
else. Yeah. We need like a we need like a Battlefield type
Yes.
first person
with
boots on the ground Starfield. Yes. Yes.
Yep.
That's what we're getting.
That's what we're getting.
Yep.
Confirmed here
That's
first.
why they're there. Either that or that stuff's not going to go to Game Pass until next year, but I don't know. We'll see.
Rumor number 5.
Oh, I
According
forgot
to
we got
Daniel RPK, Marvel's Wolverine is aiming for a 2025 release, has a darker, more violent tone, and will feature the southeast city called Madripoor. Scott, do you know what Madripoor is? Are you that much of a Marvel?
That sounds familiar, but Madripoor. Yeah, that's yeah, if I remember, that's like a seedy, like a
Cyberpunk?
No, it's just like a it's kind of like a Mos Eisley in Star Wars, you know. Just where all the seedy people like go for like weapons deals and stuff like that. If I remember correctly. I'm probably getting corrected right now. Somebody's like click 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 click. But yeah, that's what it sounds. That would be I would say that's probably more realistic. I've heard 2024 way too many times. I don't think this thing's if it was 2024 they'd be showing it before the year's end. They want Spider-Man 2 to have its limelight and to have its, you know, when everybody finishes it in 30 hours and then it's, you know, moved on. December, January, they'd start showing it. But if we haven't seen anything by then, it's going to be 2025.
Yeah, I feel like we might get like DLC for Spider-Man 2 before we even see Wolverine.
I think so too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a new suit. Maybe a new suit with different colors on it.
Right.
You're very excited for that, Nate.
Oh my gosh. I hate click on those stories. Look at these 30 suits that you can have. You can find them throughout the city, the 30 suits. Wow.
You know, in the first Spider-Man, I think I unlocked probably about, I don't know, 12 or 13 of them. I wore one of them.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I just wore the standard, not the one that comes with the game. I hate that. It looks like something Reebok made. But the cartoon version, I mean, the comic version. I wore that through the whole game. I thought it was perfect.
That the one with the low frame rate?
No. It was just like the standard blue and red.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. But that's, you're probably right. It's like, new costumes have been scattered across Manhattan.
Yeah.
I thought some of those kind of look cool. Was it the one that's like kind of from Into the Spider-Verse? Like that?
Yeah.
It's like
that's the one I was talking about where it has like a 24 frames per second vibe to it.
Yeah. That can give you a headache after a while.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Guys, let's get to the drop. Scott, you have a big story this week. This is a big one.
It's a little big. I mean, we've been talking about it. It's the game. It's, you know, the Keighleys. We're calling the Keighleys. And we have the nominations. The nominations are out, and I'm not going to go through every single one of them because I don't think all of them are really relevant. But of course, the game of the year, I think these are fine. Where are they? I just had them. Nominees, and the nominees are, and you guys might, you might agree with some of these. I don't know, but we've got Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4 remake. I have to say that because that's not listed. Super Mario Brothers Wonder and Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna hear Thick's thoughts on that eventually.
Yeah. And probably not his pick for game of the year, just
No.
due to lack of knowledge. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's pretty solid. I'm not really happy about a remake being on there because
Right.
Resident Evil 4's already won that. But
What should have replaced it?
uh,
Starfield.
Hogwarts probably.
yeah, I would say Hogwarts could have been a contender. But I know they probably don't want to touch that.
No.
At all.
Unfortunately,
Imagine J.K. Rowling coming out accepting the award. She'd get a lot of stuff thrown at her.
Yeah.
On the stage.
Yeah, that would be. They don't want to mess with that. But I think that's.
She's gonna be the Bill Clinton kid. She's gonna run up on the stage. Should have been Hogwarts Legacy.
Right. Where's my game? Where's my game? But yeah, I think this is a pretty solid for this year. I would love to see Baldur's Gate 3 win. I don't.
I think it will.
You think it's going to win Game of the Year? I think it deserves it.
It's gonna.
I think it's going to be Alan Wake 2.
That's my dark horse. Like, if it's not this, it's that.
Yeah.
I do like. I don't know. Alan Wake 2 kind of strikes me as like high art, like a culmination of.
Yeah.
You disagree?
No,
I
agree with you. Yeah. I'm having a hard time
the people
playing
voting. The people voting love that stuff, though. I feel like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like in terms of popularity, I guess probably Tears of the Kingdom. That's what I see winning from the Cubes.
Really?
No, you're wrong. You're out of line. You're out of line, Thick.
He could be right. I would be surprised. Not really surprised that it would, but to me that's just it's not. I don't think it has the impact that the first one did.
It doesn't.
It's more of an add-on, yeah. But then again, there's Resident Evil Remake. Who knows? I mean, that could win. Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I have not played this game. I have seen very little of this. I can't really say
I don't think that one really deserves to be on here either.
That's what a lot of people are saying. Not that it's a bad game. It's just there's other games that should have taken that. I feel like maybe that's the Hogwarts Legacy fill-in that they didn't want to touch, but because it's not nominated for anything, which is really sad because the people that worked on that obviously loved that game and did a fantastic job. Okay, so then best game direction. Now this is the one that's confusing to me, and I'll give you that. It's Alan Wake 2.
Oh, wait, one thing.
Yep.
Let's go back to the game of the year.
Game of the
Starfield,
year.
not on there.
No,
Big
it's not.
Hubbub with a lot of people. I mean, I kind of agree with it not being on there either. Doesn't mean it's a bad game.
No.
But,
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's my game of the year. I enjoyed it, but not really my game of the year. So yeah, it could have been number 7 or number 8 out of their pick. Who knows? But but game direction. So Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Brothers, and Tears of the Kingdom. So what exactly is game direction? Like it says, awarded for outstanding creative vision and innovation in game direction and design. This one I think is a hard pick because, when I'm watching a movie and like it's a Steven Spielberg movie, I know it's a Steven Spielberg movie because of the way that the camera moves, the way that the dialogue moves, the way that the lighting is. It has a certain way. It has a certain look and feel, and because it's one person behind that camera that's making that movie, they have a vision and they can kind of push that along. With the game, I think it's hard to like. I don't think it's the same thing, right? I don't know. What do you guys think this means? I mean, I know it means game direction, but there is a game director for each one of these games. I don't think that that's really what they mean. Question mark? I don't know.
I feel like it's more like how they kind of like changed the formula kind of thing. Like I think this is the kind of thing that I think about when I think about game of the year. Like something like Alan Wake 2. Like the guy has a very focused direction of what he wants to take the game. And I think it shows within the game
Sam
itself.
Lake, yeah. But
go ahead.
Well, I mean, but like Baldur's Gate 3, I mean, there is a studio lead. I can't remember his name, but he's the guy that if you see Laren Studios, it's him. But I'm not positive he's the game director on the game. And same thing with the other ones. I don't know. It just seems like a strange category. I'm not, downing on it. It's just, I don't know.
I kind of take it like, how like games like kind of hold your hand,
like
to varying
Spider-Man
degrees.
2.
I feel like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like, all these games are like, I'm going to take the player's hand. I'm going to guide them through like my vision. So like kind of what Thick said, like Alan Wake 2 is like, that is like, whoever's writing that game, that's their vision, right? Whereas I feel like maybe Baldur's Gate 3 is kind of like it has a little looser hold on the player, maybe, or a little like I'm gonna take a step back.
That's the point. The vision is that the player gets to decide what they want to do. And
it's more. You feel like more like the player is the director of that, as opposed to like Spider-Man and Alan Wake 2. Yeah. Well, it'd be interesting. The only there's a couple of game directors that I think of, like when somebody says like game director, like Cory Barlog always comes to mind. When making the God of War redo, everybody said, "Oh, I just go to ask Cory." But other than that, there's and of course, with Starfield, it's
Todd Howard,
the leather jacket, Todd Leather Jacket Howard, yeah. All right.
I mean, certainly like Kojima has his distinct vibe.
That's another one, right?
Yeah.
He's the guy that comes in and goes, no, take that out. That won't work, right? Yeah.
My crazy vision is going to be in this game, not market research vision, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay, so the next one is best narrative. Again, Alan Wake 2. Again, Baldur's Gate 3. Again, Spider-Man 2, with the addition of Cyberpunk 2077: Phantom Liberty, which is a DLC. And Final Fantasy 16. So, I have played Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, and none of the other ones.
Wait a second, Scott. So you've played Alan Wake 2. I feel like we haven't really heard you talk too much about it.
Because I'm having a hard time going to...
You're not blown away by it.
I don't want to play it.
Oh, really?
It's good, but, I mean... It's also, I don't know, it's a game, for me, you kind of just have to be in the mood for it.
Really?
Yeah.
I have heard on a podcast, which I was surprised to hear, that they're like, you have to play Alan Wake 1 to really appreciate Alan Wake 2. I feel like most sequels to games is like, it's a great starting point.
Yeah. I did watch a follow-up, not a follow-up, but a catch-up. Yeah. And it was just as weird and just as, I think you can, but it's so far out there and Twilight Zone-y that
oh, really?
I don't think it does matter. There's some things that you're going to get, but the quality of the game is very well done. But to me, it is just so limiting of what you can do and what you're doing, and it just feels a little hollow to me. Okay. It's very pretty. Presentation is like 10 out of 10. Oh. Everything else to me is like just kind of really just drops.
Let me ask you this question. Do you feel like any of these voters vote on games that they think need a bump or could most benefit from a bump in sales or in advertising a little bit?
Well,
I feel like Alan Wake is like kind of like that darling type company who's like, if we can just kind of like build them up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Whereas Nintendo's Nintendo, Spider-Man.
Yeah, I don't hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, I hate Remedy's games." No. Yeah, that's a fantastic studio.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that there's the people that vote on these things are basically part of the industry and games media, which I feel like. Yeah, I feel like if you are in games media, then you've already had your voice. And you got your dollars for that.
Yeah.
So
gamers rise up.
If this was based on people like us, like the people that actually played the games, bought the games, paid money for them, I think this would be a completely different show. But
it'd be all Sony. That's what I'm gonna say.
It's possible because aside from PC players, there's more people playing PlayStation right now than Nintendo and Xbox.
Yeah,
If
these
you
awards.
if you give a poll to any gamer, it's gonna be mostly Sony. I'm gonna just say that.
Yeah.
If you ever look at the polls on IGN, all
They're
Sony
all Sony,
biased.
really.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're mostly Sony biased there. They think that gaming is synonymous with Sony,
Yeah.
and not all of us think that way.
Right. Some of us are free thinkers.
Right. It's not
Yeah.
it's not about the
I
box.
have I'm gonna fix this problem that all three of us have addressed. What I think we should do is just create an AI that just measures engagement metrics for these games, and just award games based on those metrics.
Done.
And like have a robot voice. Don't have Geoff Keighley up there. Just have a robot voice. Go up and
I
go.
wouldn't. I would like that better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe get that. What's that voice of that science fiction movie where he's like, Michael, you can't leave the house. Like, what is that?
Odyssey,
1980?
right?
Is it Space Odyssey?
2000,
2001. Hal. Yeah. Hal 9000.
Hal can't. Oh,
Why
okay,
are
yeah,
you
yeah.
doing that?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Why are
All
you
right.
voting that? Winner
Yeah.
for best direction is Alan
The
Wake
metrics
2.
say otherwise. The metrics say otherwise.
Right.
Scott, was that your last with the Game Awards, or is there another? Topic?
There's just one more that, I mean, there's best art direction, and then there's best score and music, and then best audio design. I mean, this is all.
Go to best ongoing game. This one.
This
irks me.
is this is the
This
one.
is dirty. This is dirty.
Yeah, it's really weird. Yeah, this is it. Okay. So this is a category best ongoing, awarded to a game for outstanding development of ongoing content that involves the player experience over time. This is not a definition of a game, period, but okay. So here we've got Apex Legends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a live service game. Final Fantasy 14, which is it's an MMO. Fortnite, your favorite.
The GOAT, yeah.
Yeah, Genshin Impact, Thick's favorite. And Cyberpunk 2077. So
One of those is not like the other.
yeah, one of them kind of stands out as getting one DLC, and then they'll never work on it again. So what exactly is there? This is why the Game Awards, to people that enjoy gaming of all types, not just one format.
Yeah.
Ponder the possibility that maybe this is just marketing, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's pretty much.
yeah. So
We
Cyberpunk.
come for the trailers.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I watch it. But yeah, the Cyberpunk 2077, I don't feel like is an ongoing game. They got one DLC, unless they're talking about patches. Like they could be talking about patches, like that thing that got a lot of patches because it needed them. So I don't know about
And
that.
it coincided with the DLC. Is there not something else that's more like this isn't really ongoing support, right?
No, it's not. And
that's not how I define
they've
it.
said that, they had some other DLC planned. They're not doing it. After this one, they will continue to patch here and there, but they are moving the entire franchise to Unreal 5 to work on their next game. They've said that. They've said it's not, So, it's out. Ongoing is not ongoing at all. So,
Okay,
it
what
just looks
should be in
weird.
its place? What do you think should be in its place?
I would say Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves game has tons of content.
I don't know about this year because they've been on one season for a while. From what I understand.
Well, yeah. I mean, they have had. No, they just got a new season, didn't they? I thought they just got a new season.
Season 8 lasted like 9-12 months. So
Really? Because I get.
yeah.
I'm on the newsletter, so and it just seems like I get content from that, or unless they're trying to tell me that they've got new content. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but
Yeah, the Sea of Thieves community is pretty salty. I'm on the subreddit. I don't actually play very often, but I just see pop-ups on my feed.
Can I say something about this? Now, you guys know I'm a sociopath. I check on live service numbers like way more than a healthy person would.
yeah, you probably.
I feel like
could-
in the right.
Yeah, right.
But I feel like in the last month I've looked at Sea of Thieves numbers because I'm like, oh, that game, that game was kind of interesting to me for a while. Yeah. Those numbers, at least on Steam, and I know some people are like, well, it's not Steam, it's an Xbox game. Those numbers have taken a dip over the last 6 months. That game is not doing great right now.
Is it not? Okay.
Yeah. So I feel like you kind of have to see players kind of embrace the game in order to,
Well, it says for ongoing content and involves the player experience over time. So, I mean,
it's tough because you need just a crazy person who's like, I play all the live service games. I know how to accurately judge this.
Right. I mean, if you use that description, you could say Battlefield 2042. I mean, they're on season 7. They've had some really good content lately, although one gameplay last season was kind of weird.
I would say, honestly, now I think about it, Halo. Just replace it with
Halo Infinite. That would be a good one. They just started a new season. They're
Nate.
adding. I know.
Nate, you okay? You need a bag there?
I'll manage. Well, I don't have to say what's in my head all the time. I can just keep some things in my head.
That's a good game to look at, not on Steam, and look at Xbox numbers, because
it's getting beat by Dead by Daylight
on Steam. Yeah.
No, on Xbox. It's getting beat by Dead by Daylight. A pay-to-play game is beating a free-to-play game.
Oh wow,
check it. I'm a sociopath. I'm a sociopath.
I get it. I believe you. It's just
I don't even know if I'm
doesn't
accurate.
seem right. Well, either way, Cyberpunk 2077. Maybe that was just we can't find a better option. Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe there isn't a better one out there.
Right.
It's not Destiny 2.
Diablo 4.
Dude, maybe it's High Res Studios Paladins. That's a callback to last episode when I referenced that game.
Listeners are gonna
like that.
I'll give you a bonus category, and this.
By the way, Paladin's more popular than Halo Infinite. By the way, okay, don't check that, but just believe me.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna check it right now.
The best community support. One of them is Destiny 2. This was obviously picked before, that whole thing blew up, I'm sure. So
yeah.
And it's whatever. Anyway, but the Game Awards, I don't look at this as, I would love to see my favorite game there, but it doesn't matter to me if it's there or not. I don't care. This is marketing. It has really nothing to do with, it's a popularity contest.
Well, Scott, to add on to your point, how we were just talking about Hogwarts Legacy didn't get nominated for anything?
Right.
I thought I read a news story this week saying it was the #1 best-selling game of 2023.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, what do you want? Do you want your awards from this like weird, group of people, or do you want just bang on sales?
No,
I think those people are probably happy with. Okay, we made a lot of money.
I don't really care to have any awards. I don't think that I think when a game comes out and it's reviewed by well, I want to say respectable media, but that's I don't know who is anymore. But just judged by, on its merits at that point,
Right.
Later on, game of the year, I don't know. I don't really care. I just really don't. No. I know, I kind of have a feeling what's going to win. It's just like watching the Oscars. It's like if Meryl Streep is nominated for Best Actress, or she's in a movie that's nominated for Best Picture, you can go home. You're done. That's just how it works.
Right.
I remember being a kid and going, why is Return of the Jedi not up there as Best Picture? Because it was obviously the best picture of the year, right?
Yeah. What won that year, Scott? What?
No
1973?
idea. I had to go to bed. I was
had to go to
at
bed.
school next day.
Yeah.
But you see what I'm saying? It's like that's not why I watch it. Now I will say that the overall Game Awards is it's fun to watch. It does celebrate gaming in a non-Spike TV way. If you guys remember those, it is getting mature. But I think that still, I said this last year, Keighley needs a host. He needs somebody to host this thing. He's terrible at it. He can do whatever he wants.
Say something.
No.
Scott is saying controversial statements.
Listen.
He needs to be stopped.
The Game Awards start. Keighley comes out, says, thanks for coming, blah, blah, blah. And now here's who?
Here's Billy Crystal. Henry
Cavill.
Out of retirement.
What about Henry Cavill? What about Laura Bailey? Nolan North?
Bill Clinton.
All right. Or the kid.
Well, somebody that doesn't look like a ninth grade English teacher or a manager at Panera Bread. It's just somebody that understands games, is in the industry, or is in the industry, but is presentable. That I'm just
Scott, are you a free thinker? Are you a free thinker? Can your mind change when presented with new information?
sure.
No.
All right, that wasn't convincing, but I'm still gonna offer up a point.
Okay.
I feel like Geoff Keighley, he definitely loves video games, right? He definitely loves the medium.
Yeah,
So when you
I
get
get
like,
it.
I know Henry Cavill does too, and like, I just feel like getting like yeah, there are celebrities like Terry Crews and Henry Cavill, and there are like celebrities who are already rich, and they're like, yeah, I game a little bit, but I feel like, Keighley is like, he's like one of us. He's just like, you don't feel that way?
I don't get that at all. No, I don't think he's.
He
one of
was
us.
one of us.
You don't get that.
No, I seriously don't. Not that he
Scott is not a free thinker. He's not a free thinker.
No, I just don't think. I think that you, if you, this thing's big. He works on this all year. You know.
Yeah.
This.
It's his baby. It's his baby.
It's his thing, right?
Yeah.
So
It's not Henry Cavill's baby.
no, it's not. But
No.
You want somebody. I just feel like there should be somebody that. Now he did try this once. Now I will give you that. And then
Joel McHale.
Joel McHale. It was terrible. It was god awful.
Yeah.
It was just cringy and stupid, and I get that, but it doesn't have to be somebody that's funny. I think Laura Bailey would do a fantastic job. I mean, she's done the voice of a lot of people's favorite characters and a lot of people's hated characters, and she's not bad to look at. He's just doesn't have any. He doesn't have any stage presence. So
I've never wanted someone to stop talking as much as I have with Scott right now. and Thick, you're not helping me out, but
I'm not trying to.
See, he agrees with me. It just, I think it would be better. I'm just saying, I think it would be better.
Geoff Keighley has one Achilles heel, and I think I'm using that phrase correctly. It's his darn shoes.
Oh my god.
The shoes irk me a little bit. But other than that, he's perfect. He's a perfect human. He's a true gamer.
Okay.
True gamer.
Okay, sure, man.
I wonder who's going to come up on stage this time to interrupt them.
That's right.
Yeah, that was. I don't know. We'll see. It's
happened 2 times now, right?
2 times. Yeah. They really
I don't know if you saw this tweet about like it's just a joke tweet. Well, they'll have armed guards and they will be shot on sight.
Well, they should have guards in tuxedos that keep the people on stage safe, because we all know that how people get about their games.
Right.
Yeah.
Thick. Once again, I am asking you to save the podcast.
Also,
please talk about a piece of hardware that came out this week.
Okay, so PlayStation Portal, remote player, got to put that in there. Came out Wednesday, and there's a few news bits about this right now. I'll give you my impressions in a little bit, but it's sold out now. Sold out within 2 days. And there might be cloud gaming come to it instead of just remote playing from your PS5, because right now you need a PS5 to play it.
Yes.
But what the let me check his name. I'm not sure if I'm going to say it correctly.
Is it a reputable person?
Yeah, he's like the head of platform experience. So he's like, like probably related to the accessories and everything.
Yeah.
But Nishino added that Sony wants to make the whole system stable enough to support the handheld cloud streaming before they decide to make it available to consumers. So they want it stable enough, because right now they do have PS5 streaming, and from what I hear, it's pretty good right now. I don't know if you've tried it. I don't know if you have the option to. You probably need the PS Plus like premium to do it.
Right.
Wait.
Yeah, there's been good impressions.
You can't stream from your PS5 unless you have premium?
No. I'm talking about cloud gaming.
Okay. Gaming. I got you.
Yeah, because right now there's no cloud gaming on it. It's only remote. You can stream, from your PS5, and I don't think you need any sort of service with it. I could be wrong. I don't think it's premium though. It could be the base, but I think.
Yeah, I think they just said your Xbox just has to be on. It's pretty much the only stipulation.
But the cloud gaming, it might get in the future. They don't have it right now because they still want to make sure it's more stable.
Right.
So that's what they're saying.
Yeah. That's interesting.
But in any case, like a lot of the reviews have been mostly saying it's better than expected. There's a lot of people just saying like this is a device for no one. I think that's probably a little bit exaggeratory, but I think it's to me my impression is this is you want a PlayStation Portal if you just want to play on a bigger screen with comfort for remote play. And I already do remote play, and that's kind of what I am doing with it. Because the way I can kind of justify it is I'm paying partly for the DualSense controller, and I'm paying for the screen. Because it's a full functional DualSense controller for the most part. The touchpad, you have the touchpad on the controller. It's just a touch screen, kind of. Like they have little prompts on the screen to allow you to do that. But it pretty much mimics the same thing. Like when I'm playing Modern Warfare, I get the rumble features and everything, and it feels fine.
Can I ask you a question? Maybe you're going to get to this, but when you're playing it, do you feel that latency?
So in first-person shooters like Modern Warfare and Doom, because I wanted to try Doom, because Doom was also on Stadia, by the way, and Doom was what they wanted to showcase to say, hey, our tech is ready.
Right.
But the thing with Stadia is they tuned their game specifically for cloud gaming. So like Doom is probably, it might be a little bit more forgiving in some ways, or like the way that it's responsive.
Like the Stadia version, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, the Stadia version. Like it's a ported version enhanced for cloud gaming.
Okay.
Interesting.
But then in this case, this is just your basic Doom. You're just playing it for in console, but you're introduced a certain level of latency.
Slow.
Hi, Scott.
My frame rate is like dropping. So the version, so obviously the version that you played streaming on is just the PS5 version. So could you tell the difference?
I could feel the latency.
Yeah.
I could feel it definitely a lot more than I did with Stadia, and something with like Luna as well. Like it's basically not cloud gaming, right? It's dependent on more factors than cloud gaming, because you probably have more variations in your home environment, like your PS5 to your router, and then the router back to your PlayStation Portal. Funny enough, I'll tell you, I did try Doom at work, because one thing with the PlayStation Portal is you can play on Wi-Fi elsewhere, and it'll just connect to your PS5 at home.
And
so how'd that go?
Yeah,
I was very surprised, and also work has really good Wi-Fi, right? So, but I was very surprised at the quality. It was very stable, extremely stable, and from what I can tell, is the PlayStation has really kind of have gotten years of experience with Gaikai so far. So I think this is like the culmination of all that. Like they've really learned to like improve it. And what I kind of noticed is it prioritizes latency and maybe sound, or like just kind of like some soft like visual integrity.
So
but
that kind of gets downturn.
Like that's the priority, right? But the resolution, they'll drop it. Like there's some cases where. Now, it wasn't like this at work. It's actually a little more like this at home, where the resolution drops to probably like 720 or 480 even.
Rough, yeah.
Yeah.
For a few seconds, yeah.
Yeah, for a few seconds. Sometimes I actually have to reconnect, and then it'll be fine again. But I mean, that could improve over time. It's not a deal breaker to me, mostly because I'm familiar with how remote play is. Like I understand the caveats to it.
Yeah.
But I'd say for people that want to consider this, they should just try the remote app on their phone first. Because you can actually just use the touchpads on the phone to kind of mimic some of the controls. Like you don't need to try anything fancy, but see how the latency and quality is on your phone. And then
it's going to mirror that. It's going to mirror that.
I think you'll mirror it very similarly, because I think they've been pretty good with just remote experience.
I know I've clicked on some threads where people are talking about this, and they give like, here's what you need to do when you buy the Portal. and they give like 6 things. You need to go into your modem and you need to shift your mode from 5 gigahertz to 2 point. And each one, I'm like, oh, that's gonna take me 20 minutes. That's gonna take me 20 minutes. That's gonna take me 30 minutes. That one's gonna take me 2 days because I'm gonna get stuck on it, right?
Well,
Yeah, I think.
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, I was
Yeah.
going to say that you may have to do that. It really just depends on your router. A lot of gaming routers will, if you're using something that detects something like remote play, where you're transferring a lot of data over that wireless, it will give it priority over other things.
Yeah.
But it's not going to do it instantly. It's not going to do it like when you take it out of the box and you start doing it, and it just goes,
You
wow,
gotta
this
go
is
set
great.
it up.
No, it will do it automatically. It may take several hours for it to, go, okay, this is streaming. This may be a movie. This may be a game. We don't know, but we're going to give it, or some you do have to go into the router and say, this is my new device. Give it priority so that when you're, especially if you live alone, if you're downloading something on your computer, but you want to play, on your, on your PlayStation, it's going to give it priority over that download, you know. So
right now, your Samsung fridge might have priority over the Wi-Fi.
Right, exactly. Yeah, depending on how you set it up. A lot of people have shown on Twitter that it's like it's latent. It's very latency. Or not latency. It's got a lot of latency to it. But then a lot of people have commented like, "Hey, mine did too," but the next day I tried it again and it was perfectly fine. So that's where you're, where that above $50 router that's kind of kicking in. Yeah, there's a lot of factors to it, and it is some of them you do have to have some prior knowledge to IT to go in and set it to where it works better. I remember doing the same thing with the Vita. The Vita, I played remote play on the Vita. I'd play in the, I had the PS4 in the living room, and I'd be in the bedroom, playing on my Vita. But I had to set priority manually for that device so that it would, stream a little bit better.
Yeah.
Who was the guy who said like, "Oh, it just works"? Is that Todd?
Todd
Howard, or
Howard.
is that Steve Jobs? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that guy did not create the portal.
Yeah, he doesn't do hardware. Yeah, hardware never just works.
Yeah.
But I have a question for you. So you went to work and you just basically like logged into your wireless network, right?
So I have control of the wireless network at work, like, because I just have a separate network. But like, if it was like a hotel or something where you have a web page to go to,
that's what I was going to.
It would not work.
Yeah,
there's
that's
no
a
web
problem.
browser.
That's a huge problem. Yeah.
How could anyone create a device that does that?
So I think part of it is that
well, they don't want you logging into your GeForce G Now account and playing on that or Xbox Cloud or
I think it's also a vector
security.
for exploitation as well, because I think that's what happened with like the early consoles, right? I think the original Wii, you could exploit the console by using the browser.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I think the Xbox One you could as well, because they took the browser off for a little bit. It just like you got up one morning and it's like, where's the browser? And then a couple of weeks later it was back again. Like, so, I mean, there's some factors to that, but that's the issue I would have with it. If you want to go to Starbucks and you and your friend drink coffee and play a game, you're not going to. The limitation to it is, it's like you said, if you want to sit in your bed or you want to lay in bed and play a game and stream it, with almost no latency, that's who that's for. But that's only who that's for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's limited use case. But I mean, if you can get solid Wi-Fi elsewhere, I think it's decent. But I would not take this instead of my Switch somewhere, right? So,
if you were going on a business trip or something, that's probably not the thing you want to grab.
Yeah, but if I were to say like go to like family for like just Thanksgiving or something, I'd consider bringing this and just like play a little bit.
Yeah.
When the family's talking politics, Switch slowly takes out its portal.
Yeah, I just the portal is pretty wide, and it's pretty light. It's like a little little bit over a pound. But like when you hold it with two hands, like it doesn't feel that heavy, right? Because like I think a iPhone 14 or the newer ones are pretty heavy, but you're just holding with one hand most of the time. So, but when you
right.
split it over two hands, it's
Well, this
it's
is
fine.
probably lighter than a Steam Deck, right?
Definitely lighter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys ever do the thing where like you're looking at a handheld or a phone and then you drop it on your face.
Oh yeah, that happens to me a lot.
Yeah, I've done that.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, don't drop a Steam Deck on your face.
I'm glad you said that because I would have never admitted that.
You drop a Steam Deck on your face, then like what is it? The fire
It's like you
company
break your
has to bring the
nose.
jaws of life.
Yeah.
Jaws of life.
Yeah,
get
people like
those-
smelling their Steam Decks, so maybe that's what it's for.
Oh, can I tell you guys a real quick story? Yesterday,
Yeah.
I'm walking a dog. The dog poops. I bend over to pick the poop up. The phone falls in the poop. That's you're having a rough time when that happens, you know?
Man.
I think your phone is poop proof, right?
Yeah, I got to
Poop
get
resistant.
it exchanged.
Yeah.
Poop resistant. Okay. It's not rated for it.
That's when you go and say, I need a new phone. And when they grab it, they go, what's wrong? I said, I fell in dog poop. I'm like, oh, okay. Thanks.
It's like that Seinfeld episode. Remember with the book that went to the bathroom? They're like, we know this book has been in the bathroom. You can't return this book, right? Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm
all
sure
right.
the portal's going to be in the bathroom a lot as well.
Yeah, that's right.
But what is so? Are you? I guess you're happy with this thing. It sounds like you're playing your PlayStation 5 a lot more than you were before.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. Like okay, so my TV is behind me and my computer's here.
Right.
And sometimes I'm doing stuff on my computer and I don't want to just turn around all the time and just play stuff and then be distracted from the computer, so I just have it on the
Right.
side sometimes.
Yeah, what's ideal? You think they'll support it? You think this is something that they're going to?
They don't need to. They don't need to support
Well,
it.
yeah, they do. They
We'll
need
see,
to.
we'll see.
They need to figure out the way around. I don't know, connecting to wireless networks.
Yeah,
So-
and if it gets cloud gaming, I think the value proposition goes a lot higher.
That will make it that update should just be able, so they can add
Yeah.
it to the portal, right?
But I mean, right now it's sold out. Some people are saying, "Oh, just wait for a price drop." I don't know if it'll get a price drop if it.
Well, I mean,
continues
it's
to
made
sell.
by Sony. I mean, they could just, I don't know. They could just sell pretty much anything and put their name on it, and it would get sold out. But we don't know how much actually shipped either, so that could be a
That's
factor.
true. Yeah,
Right.
it could be very limited right now.
I got a quick question before we move off this topic. Give me in 5 years or whenever, 10 years down the road, they're going to announce sales figures for this thing. What do you think it hits? Scott and Thick, how many millions of units does this thing sell? If it's that high?
More than the PlayStation VR.
Yeah, I would say so.
So
Maybe.
that's over 5 to 6 million.
Yeah,
That's
I would say it probably hit 7 or 8 million.
Okay,
It
so
could,
just
yeah.
under 10, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just personally, and I know how Nate's going to take this, but I think it's something that's a little niche. That's like, oh, we got something, we got something out for the holiday. It's cool. It's got a screen
It's a
on it.
stocking stuffer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and then this time next year it won't be something. I mean, they'll still have them. They'll be available, but it's not going to be something that they're pushing. It'll be something else.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a genius idea. It's just, I wish it wasn't so limiting.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say if it's genius, but I wish it did a
They're
little
sold
bit more
out?
for the price.
Yeah.
I mean, in a
But,
marketing
that's-
standpoint, not
that's
technology.
the Sony hype. So
Yeah, make something that's like seems to be cutting edge technology, but really isn't, and make it sleek and designable and match all your other stuff, and it will sell beautifully. Who else does that? I wonder. Anyway,
Yeah. All right. I guess Thick. We're not moving on until you give us a number. Give us a Metacritic
yeah, give
score
us a
on this
grade. IGN gave it an 8, even though he did say he couldn't connect anywhere but home.
I thought they gave it a 7. I would give it a 7.
thing.
7.
Give it a 7.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a very specific use case, but you have to just kind of know what you're getting. If you like that, if you want that sort of remote play option and you want to play comfortably, this is probably the best way to do it.
I have a question. Does it have a USB-C port?
Yes.
Can you connect it directly to your PS5 and use it as a controller?
Oh.
I don't think so. No.
Really?
I feel like I've also read that you cannot do that, but I don't know.
So
That
so
seems
sometimes I switch
wrong.
between both. Like if I turn on that PlayStation Portal while the PS5 is on, my DualShock, my DualSense turns off, and I mean the TV is still on,
Yeah.
but now I'm remote playing, so that it kind of just does that.
Okay. Well, I just thought it would be cool if you could just use it as an extra controller. If somebody came over or something, you can.
And you could
Unfortunately, no.
Then you could pick your plays on Madden on it. Like, oh, don't look at my
Man, if
run plays.
I know. Well, that's something cool about the Vita. There's a couple of games that you can do that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And it seems like the Xbox One had something similar as well with their
Wii U
with their
had
smart
something similar.
glass. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you could use a tablet or something. You can actually use it in the game. It did not work very well, but this was 20 years ago, or 10 years ago. If they could implement something like that, that would be really cool.
Bring back smart glass. Yeah.
Bring back that functionality. I always thought it'd be cool to just, if you could do something on your phone as you're playing the game to manipulate it in some way, even just your inventory.
Did you ever try smart glass in Battlefield 4?
Yes, it did not work great.
Okay.
It worked, and then it didn't. It's kind of like when it first came out, it was like, okay, now it's live and you can use it. And then after that, it seemed to just be kind of hit and miss, and then they just forgot about it.
Yeah. The Division was supposed to have something similar, but they cut it out.
Yeah, they did a last minute. They were going to do that. That was going to be really cool. Somebody's going to have like a drone and be able to, hey, there's guys on the roof. I got to go back to work. I'm in a meeting. Okay, Nate.
Awkward.
That's it.
Back to you, Nate.
Yeah, back to you.
All right. Guys, Thick, I want to thank you, first of all, for saving the podcast. So you absolutely did that.
Well, thanks for getting a portal for us so that we'll,
For our stock.
I do it for a team.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Can't wait till I get that in the mail, Thick. Thank you. You're a nice person. All right, guys, I have two news stories, so I'm throwing you a curveball.
Okay.
All right. I know you guys can handle a curveball. All right.
Sure.
Maybe.
News story number 1. The Suicide Squad got a 20-minute story and gameplay trailer. The internet seems pleased. This game is releasing February 2nd, 2024. I'm going to tell you something. The internet it's moronic. The internet is so freaking stupid. All right. This is literally all they did with this story, with this trailer. First of all, they turned into that Starfield type trailer where they're talking to like developers. They have inspirational music in the background. I'm really excited to show you. So they have that polish to it. And then they're just showing a ton of like cutscenes in the trailer. So what the internet is like, they're like zombies. They just walk slowly towards anything with a cutscene. Am I right? Mm-hmm. This game did not change fundamentally since it was last shown 6 months ago on the internet.
I didn't see much change yet.
No.
It's literally all you have to do is present it a different way, and the internet will go, I'll buy that.
Yeah, and this is, we talked about this last week with Bungie. It's their pedigree. They made 3 good Batman games.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this isn't a Batman game.
Yeah.
And I don't know. You just can't really. I don't trust developers anymore. There's not developers that I'm like, oh, they're my favorite. Even Bethesda. I love Skyrim. It's like one of my favorite games ever. But I don't. Fallout 76. I mean, come on. I hope this game is good. I hope it's great. It just looks like a game that could have been good, but it's going to just be a total game, a live service nightmare.
Scott, are you a free thinker? When you are presented new information, can you change it?
This is like the word of the day.
I know, right?
Okay, so you guys know
so
that.
basically, it's kind of stupid.
No. Let me continue. Okay, let me just say, like, you guys know that I kind of like what I saw initially, right? Like, I didn't think it was bad looking.
No, it doesn't.
And I think I still stand by that. Like, I think the combat looks like it has a little Rocksteady spin on it. It's it's third-person shooter or whatever, but it has a certain cadence, which is what the Arkham games have, right? So I am still hoping that it plays well. live service or whatever, if like the game itself is okay, at least at the base price, I mean, I consider it.
Okay. So
Yeah.
is this a $70 game?
Oh, I'm sure it
Definitely,
will be.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Um, yeah, I guess Scott, where are you on this game? Because you kind of like co-op shooters.
Yeah, I do. I do. But what I'm seeing of this is not, it just doesn't,
Doesn't do it for you.
it doesn't, yeah, there's not much there that, of course, the presentation looks good, but,
Yeah. So if this was called Crackdown 5, and it was just slightly different art style, you
Right.
remove the IP from it, you're still not interested in it.
probably not. But, I think this is the game we talked about episodes ago about if these developers would just release demos or a beta, before it comes out to get, it's, we're looking at games now. You have to play it to understand it. And I think that this is one of those games. And what, kind of like what Thick said is, you have to, it looks good, but I'm seeing potential, and maybe that's just me being doom and gloom. I don't know, but I just see a potential of it really trying to be a looter shooter, microtransaction wasteland.
Yeah, they didn't show any of that this time, which is probably a smart move on their part.
Right. I just, it's hard to get rid of that last one. It's still in my head.
They're
Shooting
at
the
the
little
scene-
blue bubbles, or was it blue or purple or whatever?
One of those, yeah.
They're at the scene in the movie where one of the characters realizes if we put zombie guts over our face, the zombies can't recognize us. So they're like slathering zombie guts, and they're like walking slow, and they're like, "Wow, we're doing it. We're getting through the zombie horror."
Yeah, that's a good
what's happening.
metaphor for this.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
exactly
Thank you
what
for
it
that.
is. Right.
Yeah. All right. So I think we've said enough on this game, right?
Nate's gonna buy it, right?
Well, I want to ask you a question because I feel like this game is coming out in February. Helldivers 2 is coming out in February. I'm way higher on Helldivers 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I am too.
Okay, you are too.
Okay, maybe if they have a demo of this game, like an open beta, and I try
it could
and
pull you in.
If it feels good, I think like game feel, you know me, game feel important.
Yeah.
Then I might consider this.
Yeah, I hear you. But yeah, I guess they're just pretty different because Helldivers is pretty slow paced, right? Like you're like, someone's got to cover me because I'm just not fast enough to move. And this game is the opposite. This game is like, I can jump across the city in one swoop. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, news story number 2.
Okay.
I have this written down. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 7 Blackout Advanced 4 released to a 58 meta Open Critic score. All right?
Mm-hmm.
These games come out once every 3 months. We're choking on these games. We're absolutely choking on these games. So what I decided to do to introduce it to you two is I grabbed a good blurb on OpenCritic and I grabbed a bad blurb on OpenCritic.
Mm-hmm.
May I read you a good blurb?
Sure.
May.
Quote, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is overall a very good game with the best gameplay over the last 3 chapters thanks to a fluid and frenetic multiplayer and good zombie mode. A discordant note is an uninvolving and slightly shorter campaign, but it remains the Call of Duty with the best multiplayer in recent years, and this simply cannot be ignored. 8 out of 10, Mondo Xbox.
Mondo.
Mondo
What?
Xbox.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the negative blurb. Quote, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 recycles old ideas in a stale package that is downright slog for most of the experience. It commits the ultimate sin of being boring, and it does not bode well for the future of a franchise that, for the last 20 years, has been the pinnacle of popular first-person shooter games.
Paul Tassi.
That is from Kyle Foley from But Why They.
What?
You know, we
But Why
love
They.
that website. But Why
Yeah.
They.
Well, what is
Sure.
with these AI generated names? But yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
right.
OpenCritic just I don't know why they're pulling from these, but I guess the first of all, let me ask you guys. You guys know about this franchise more than I do. How long is the average Call of Duty campaign? Would you say?
I would say 6 to 10 hours.
All right, so
depending.
this is about half.
Below
that.
average. Below
Yeah,
average.
this
is
is about
definitely-
half that. Yeah.
All right. So I guess when you put it like that, I'm like, well, it's not really a DLC because when I hear DLC, I think, oh, that's like a 10%. That's a 10% of a game. This is 50% of a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Either of you guys excited about this game?
No.
I mean, clearly no.
No, I played the beta, the multiplayer beta, and all of the maps that are released with the game are all previously released in they're remakes of old maps. Terrible idea. If you have one or two, that's cool. You know, everybody likes nostalgia. But if you based your whole multiplayer around that,
Old maps.
Yeah, the problem is that the maps are the same. The playing is not. It's very different. You know, when Modern Warfare 3 came out, the first one, you couldn't run and slide and you know, fly through the air and land on your stomach and go prone, and you know, just traversal of the areas is a lot more fluid and a lot faster than it used to be. So, like some of these maps, I noticed I'm getting across the map to the other side in like seconds, whereas before it would take you longer to do that. So you can be in the enemy spawn in seconds. You've got somebody on you, and that's just not a good choice for gameplay, especially when you're playing something that's Call of Duty. You know, it's fast, but it's tactical, and it just felt. The matches I played in the beta on those older maps just felt clumsy and sloppy. It just felt sloppy.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't agree with Mondo Xbox?
No, I don't. And that's just from the beta. And I that's one thing that I remember thinking is like, okay, time to kill is off, which it always is. They always fix that, you know, at the last minute after that beta. But the maps, I did not. I was like, you see it, it's like, oh yeah, it's rooftop. This is great. Oh, this sucks. This is horrible. You know, they're feeding on that nostalgia, and it seems lazy. It just seems lazy. It seems like
that's
a cash
really
grab.
The context of it, right? It's the value proposition. It's not quite there, and that's where a lot of the anger or hate for it comes from.
If this was dropped into Modern Warfare 2 as a DLC and charged $45 for it instead of $70, I don't think we would. I think that the reviews would be a little less harsh, but it would feel more like you're not getting ripped off. Now the campaign itself, I've watched some reviews of it of people that play Call of Duty or big Call of Duty fans, and or their channel is around Call of Duty, and they say that the campaign is not fun. There's like one good mission, the rest of it is just garbage. So yeah, you never really think about the campaign in a Call of Duty until it's really bad, and then you find out how many people actually play it.
Right.
So yeah, this is and you know, and this is not Phil Spencer's fault. Don't, you know, it's came out 2 weeks after
as soon as Xbox buys Activision, look at the quality.
Yeah, they ran in there and said, "Stop what you're doing. Make this game horrible now." But we're about to release it now. Yeah, that did not happen.
Bundle it with PlayStations.
Right. Yeah. We're gonna buy it. Bundle it with PlayStation. Yeah, those deals were made. All of this stuff was done, you know, way in advance. But yeah, this is not good, especially when we've got a dry season. I mean, we got Spider-Man 2 and Modern Warfare, and
PlayStation Portal.
Well, I mean, game-wise, you know, that's it.
No, Scott, 2023 is the best year ever in gaming.
It is, but I'm just talking about like November, December, you know, like what do you want for Christmas? I don't want Modern Warfare 3, you know.
Yeah.
So, crap.
Yeah, I hear you.
Terrible.
They'll probably be
they should try again next year.
Was it? They'll probably be an open weekend, and it'll probably be $20 off or $10 off in December. So,
or maybe
that's
sooner.
usually what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And but it's still going to be the best-selling game of the year, probably, when it's said and done.
Ooh, Hogwarts could be sweating.
Yeah, I don't know.
It'll be interesting. Maybe. Interesting to see that. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see where those numbers lie.
Yeah. Well, guys, now this is the part of the podcast where we need to kind of put our podcast to bed. You know.
Yep.
Tuck it in.
I like to do it by doing a segment called Donkey of the Week. You guys know this is a fan favorite. Everyone loves Donkey of the Week. I have a new.
Is it Jeff Grubb?
No, it's not. I have a new Donkey of the Week.
Okay.
All right. This week's Donkey of the Week award goes to Chris Raygun of Sacred Symbols fame. You guys are familiar with Colin Moriarty's Sacred Symbols.
Your favorite.
They talk video games. I don't think they're quite as popular as our podcast, but they're trying. They're trying their best.
They'll get there.
They'll get there.
Yeah.
They will get there.
Yeah.
This is what Colin says. So to set this up, they're talking about live service. They're talking about Destiny and Bungie and how difficult live service is and how volatile it is. It's just a weird vibe because I feel like if anything is not volatile, it's like once you have a hit game like Destiny, it's pretty predictable what you're doing. Now I know Destiny kind of missed projections 45%, but I just feel like the nature of live service once you have a hit is pretty steady.
Yeah, they had a bad DLC. They'll recover.
Right.
Everybody can relax. Yeah.
Yeah, no apocalypse. But this is what Chris Raygun says in that context. And first of all, I can be wrong. You guys know I'm a free thinker. I can be wrong. I'm open-minded, right? So if I read this, I want both of you to be like, no, Nate, you're actually the donkey of the week, not Chris, okay?
Okay.
So this is what Chris says. He says, quote, and you guys know it's my favorite game. So he says, quote, Fortnite messed up constantly, like almost consistently. The only reason they really nailed it was when they figured out they had this crossover appeal. Once they figured out they could license other IP and get this crossover thing going, it became a completely different game. Fortnite today is almost unrecognizable compared to when me and Colin first joked about it during the first few episodes of Sacred Symbols back in the day. First few episodes of Sacred Symbols back in the day was mid-2018. So it was about 7 or 8 months after Fortnite Battle Royale first launched.
Right.
So when I say that, so to add more context to the conversation, Chris says these words, and the other two hosts go like, "Yeah, Chris." They don't challenge Chris. They don't say, "Chris, what you just said is incorrect. We gotta stop you." So first of all, let me ask you: is this a quote deserving of the award?
Yes.
Donkey of the Week.
Yes, I do. I think so.
Okay, now Scott, you tell us why. What did you hear in that quote that you take umbrage with?
From my memory, Fortnite was extremely large before they started adding other IPs.
Yeah.
And you can even see it if you've gone into a Walmart on the end caps, there's Fortnite action figures and Nerf guns, and those weren't you're not seeing, Indiana Jones and just that was before that.
Yeah.
When the popularity peaked, that's when they started doing it because they knew that obviously they know how to do business.
Yeah.
They wanted to start adding those to keep that peak and not have it drop anymore. So, yeah, I think he deserves that award because he's absolutely wrong.
Oh, good. Vic, do you have anything to add there? Do you have anything to add?
I think Scott is spot on this one.
Spot on.
So.
Okay. All right.
And I don't really
glad.
play Fortnite. I mean, I think anybody could have seen that. I think he's dead wrong.
Again, I remember early on when like NBA players were doing Fortnite dances after scoring a basket. They were doing the bandage thing. Hockey players were doing that. Like every major sporting event, athletes were doing the Fortnite thing. And that was well before Star Wars and Marvel got involved, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Master
and I guess
Chief.
It's just interesting. Like if eventually you two are going to be donkeys of the week, right? And maybe I'll be a donkey of the week. But
we pass a torch, yes.
If it happens, I would like you guys to stop me in the moment and be like, Nate, this sounds like donkey of the week material, which I think you guys are going to do. I trust you that you'll do that.
But you're a free thinker, Nate.
That is a good point. If we say it 10 times in the podcast, we get kickbacks. So we're at like 7 times saying free thinker.
Free thinker? Okay, got it.
In an organic manner, yeah.
Yep.
Guys, unless you have anything else to add, that might close the podcast.
Oh, I thought there was more quotes.
No, this week was just the one quote. This was the one quote.
Oh yeah, I thought you had a surprise one.
Yeah.
No, that was
the one. Okay, I guess.
Should we bring donkeys too? Show and tell donkeys.
We need a eeyaw sound.
I know one thing I noticed is some weeks I'll listen to a lot of like gaming podcasts. Other weeks I'll kind of go in a drought where I don't listen to many. So some weeks it's easier than other weeks to pull the donkey of the week out. Yeah. So if you do hear it, bring it to the show.
Oh,
bring it
absolutely.
To the show. We need it.
Yeah. Nobody's perfect. I mean, we need to put that too. I mean, you can have I mean, we're perfect in our own way, and then we argue about it. So
exactly. All right, Scott, tell listeners how they can interact with us and find us.
In the comments below, please leave a comment. Just say hi. Even if you're AI, we'll talk to you.
How thirsty are we, Scott?
Very. Yeah.
We're very thirsty.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So, you got any one of them comments? Yeah, leave a comment below. You can meet us here on YouTube, and Thick.
Yeah. And Thick, you always send us off. You always send us off on a high note.
Yeah.
The highest.
Something-
I think this will be very relevant to free thinkers.
Okay.
So
We did it. We achieved 10.
yeah.
We
Okay.
achieved 10.
Yeah. So okay. Here's the quote: If someone says it's raining and another person says it's dry, it's not your job to quote them both. It's your job to look out the window and find out which is true.
Yes.
Like
absolutely.
that. I like that.
Absolutely.
Thick, you nailed it. You
Okay.
nailed it with a quote free thinkers can truly embrace.
Yep.
Freethinkers.gg.
Right. Free thinkers.